Hold on,
Yeah.
start it over.
I met Cliff Burton when he was playing in Easy Street. And I knew just with the style that he had then that he was something phenomenal. He was different than most of the bass players in our groups, in our periphery. And in 1981, when he was in the group Trauma, they were on a show with my band Champion up at the Keystone Berkeley. And so Trauma finishes their set, and there are these two guys out in the audience, and they take Cliff aside. Next thing I know, Cliff is leaving Trauma right there on the spot. I'm like, what was that about? He goes, that was Lars Ulrich and James Hetfield. They came up from LA to recruit me. And I'm like, are you going with them? And he goes, yeah, I think I'm going to do it. I'm like, oh, geez. And I remember the singer being really distraught over that. And it was a great set of music that night. But as you say, the rest is history.
Schaefer was in that band.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dennis was on.
Yeah.
Dennis was really not happy with that turn of events.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, things happen, sometimes for the better.
Okay, Jim, roll, whatever you want.
I want to talk about Guitar Farm. This guy, Steve Wolverton, God, this has been about 20 years ago. He wanted to get all of the great musicians together in California, Northern California specifically, to do a tribute album to them. So we got together with this guy, Jimmy Ziegler, a real fine guitar player, by the way, and musician. And they came up with this idea for Guitar Farm. And so all the music on there is original music. And I was lucky enough and blessed enough to be on that album. The track that I'm playing on is Roadrunner with Brad Gillis of Night Ranger. And I'm on there with him and Jim Ziegler, and then at the end, Steve Wolverton plays guitar. Steve just had this big heart for musicians. He just has this ability to make you feel great when you're in his presence, like you're relevant, you matter. And he reached out. He got some great players on there, Steve Morse, and then the only vocal on there is done by this guy, Rob Levin, that I taught vocal. It's called My Guitar. And I recruited Tommy Castro to play lead guitar on it because he's a blues kind of guy. It's a great track. I always loved Tower of Power, and the Tower of Power horns on the track. Some of the horn players are on the track that I played on.
Nice.
So it was a great thrill to be overdubbing my guitar and feeling the power of that horn section like no other. And then, of course, Brad was on there. He did a great job. But producing that vocal thing, I did the background vocals, and one of my girls did all the layering of the backgrounds on it, and Jack Blades of Night Ranger mixed it for the album at his house. And so it was just really one of those labors of love. I haven't heard from Steve in a while, but there's a lot of press out there on it early on, and I mentioned him in the book because, like I say, he's just got the biggest heart of any musician you've ever met. And he was able to bring everybody together. He had tracks he didn't even release yet, like Montrose was doing some stuff, and Troy Lucetta of, well, Troy is just Troy, right? So I think he lives in Nashville now.
Yeah, I'm still cooking with Tesla.
It's still cooking with Tesla.
Yeah.
So that's it. The Guitar Farm album was really, really an honor for me to be included, on an album with such great company, and Steve made it all happen, So Steve, wherever you are, love you, man. Thank you for giving me that opportunity and everybody else, because you really did it for everybody else.